Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking all about brows and my brow routine and just a tutorial on how I do my brows. Maybe it's going to help you, maybe you already know this, I don't know. We'll just see. First thing I'm going to do is talk about some products that I really love and give you some drugstore options if you're on a budget. And then I'll jump straight into my tutorial, my routine, and just demo how I do my brows for you. Alright, so first of all, I'm just a big lover of Anastasia Beverly Hills brow products. I think that they make amazing products and I am a big fan of quite a few of their things. First thing that is just something that is like I cannot physically live without. That sounds dramatic, but my brows can't live without it. And it is the Brow Wiz pencil. I won't talk this to death. If you've never heard of it, where have you been? Just a really small, thin brow pencil with a spoolie on the other end, and it's very perfect for detail work and the technique that I do, which you'll see in a minute. Some days I only use this if I just really need a quick fix. If I only had to pick one thing, then I would definitely pick this. The second product, my second favorite Anastasia product, is the Dip Brow Pomade, which is just like this waxy pomade, waterproof stuff that you use with a brush and you fill in your brows with. It stays put, it's so easy to use, and I love it, and I don't know where I was without it. Third thing that I love is the Anastasia Brow Powder, and I love that it has two different shades in it, so the front of your brows can be done with this one and the back of your brows can be done with that one. It looks really natural. Days that I just want a natural brow, this is what I reach for. Finally, best brow gel ever is the clear brow gel from Anastasia. I have no idea what is in this stuff, but for some reason it's just the best. Some other products that I do love that are not Anastasia, there's two pencils that I really like, and it is the Hourglass Arch brow pencil, and I like this for days that I just want to swipe on some brows really quickly. It's a lot thicker of a nib. It's at an angle, which I think is a very unique design, and I really like it. And then I also love the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. It's a little bit thicker of a pencil as well, retractable pencil with a spoolie on the other side. It's in a universal shade, it matches me. It's another one of those products that if I want to go quickly, that's another great one that I recommend. And if you're on a budget and you really want something like the Brow Wiz, there are two products that I would definitely recommend. The first is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I have a whole blog post if you want to check it out on me comparing this with the Brow Wiz. It's pretty much identical to the Brow Wiz in terms of design and function of it, but I feel like the product in the Micro Brow is a little bit more waxy. You have to use a little bit of a heavier hand with it, which can kind of be annoying, but it is worth it if you are on a budget and you really want to try a brow pencil like that. Another thing that recently just came out is this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, which is another very similar small fine tip pencil, you know, with a spoolie on the other end. The three of these products are very similar in size and all that. I will say with this one, it is you have to use a really light hand. It's very pigmented. I actually really liked it because NYX can be pretty hard to find. I'm almost thinking I might like it just a little bit more. I also really like it, I don't have it with me right now because I ran out, is the Milani Clear Brow Gel is another really great product if you need a brow gel and you don't want to splurge on the Anastasia. So now that we've talked about the products that I love, the technique that I do on my brows every day, it doesn't take me that long. I'm going to break it down quite a bit for you so you can see, but whenever I do it from day to day, it just only takes a few minutes. I learned this technique from another YouTuber. Her name is Sharon the Makeup Artist, and I really love her tutorials, and I thought that her brow tutorial was really easy to understand. And so I'm going to link that so you can see it for yourself and what she does and how she explains it. But when I started doing my brows this way, my brows started looking so much better. Go check out her tutorial when you have some time. I like it because I don't do like drag queen makeup. You know, that's a big thing on YouTube. Like, people like to go really full glam with a really strong brow that's really faded and gradient and not really natural and realistic looking. I like a really fresh glam face but I don't like looking like a drag queen. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying, right? So let's go ahead and get started in the tutorial. Okay, let's get started. I'm pretty up close and personal with you guys, so hey, what up my face? What I like to do before I start my brows is to groom them a little bit if it's been a couple days or a week or so. I don't groom them all the time. I only, if I have stray hairs running around. And so the first thing that I do is I stand and make sure I'm in front of a larger mirror that's a good distance away from me, about a couple feet, and then I have a smaller mirror. I'm just going to use this palette today in front of me to do some detail work up close. So the first thing that I do is I kind of just brush my brows around to see the condition of them. I mean, I don't do this every day. This is the days I need to groom them. So I noticed that some hairs are pretty long. And what I'll do is I'll take a pair of little nail scissors. These are pretty much my brow scissors. I don't ever use these for nails. And I just go around and trim them. If I see that I have any stray hairs poking out, like over here or over here or wherever, I'll grab some tweezers. And I usually just tweeze, you know, before I do my brows. It's just an extra way to just keep them maintained. I learned this from Sharon and it was pretty much life-changing, and I like to think about outlining my brows and then filling them in. Now that seems kind of crazy, like you're outlining, but it makes a huge difference with the way that your brows are sculpted. The first thing that I like to do is I take my Anastasia Brow Wiz and I make sure that I'm looking at my mirror right there and my mirror right here, because I do not want to be too heavy-handed, because when you do it way up close you end up being so heavy-handed, at least in my experience. I draw basically 4 lines across my brow. So there's a line here, there's a line here, there's a line here, that's already 3, a line here, and a line here. Or you could think about as 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think I like to do 5 because I like to do this as its own line right here because I have crazy like fronts of brows. The first thing that I do is I go ahead and draw that first line at the bottom of the brow. And then I take this second line, goes from that spot until the top of the arch under the brow. Third line is right there. And then fourth line is going to be across the top of the brow. And then finally you connect all of your lines with this last one. That one's kind of the smallest one that you do. It just sort of pulls it all together. And then I look in the mirror away and I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. It's not too bad. And then I just lightly go through it. With the spoolie I go upward. Now, this is huge. I need you guys to please stop squaring off your eyebrows in the front. Okay? If you have really sparse hairs in the front of your brows, there's a really interesting trick that you can start trying where you pull that line outward this way and pull this line and then just brush together instead of squaring them off. I hope that makes sense. You'll see a really big difference. Sometimes people draw little small strokes, also really helps, but definitely squaring your brows off and filling it in is not the way to go, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and outline my other brow. Okay, so as you can see, that is outlined. And the cool thing about this product is that if I kind of mess up a little bit, I just kind of smudge it out with the spoolie and then do it again. So now that my brows are outlined, I kind of set the Brow Wiz aside and I may go back in with it later. So after this part, I can do one of two things. I'll either use my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, which is in the shade medium brown, or I can use my Anastasia powder. Either or works really great. I like really both of these. The powder gives a little bit of a softer finish. The pomade, I think is my favorite, but it's really easy to go overboard with if you're not careful. I move on to this brush. I start filling in the inner portions of my brows, kind of making sure that it's more filled in the arch and the tail than the front of the brow, because I want my brows to be a little bit more gradient. And this doesn't take me very long whatsoever. This is easy. I sometimes wiggle the brush in between hairs because, like I've said before, my brow hairs are very thick. And if I don't, it seems like it looks a little patchy. So can you see the difference already just from filling in the arch and the tail of the brow? I have a little bit of a sparse spot right there that I'm just kind of wiggle my brush in, few different spots in the front of my brow, and then I'm going to brush upward. And then what I like to do is brush forward a little bit to give my brow hairs a little bit of more of a gradient look at the front. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the brow powder on this, use the brow powder on this brow. Okay, so you can see, I feel like this brow looks a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? If I'm looking in my mirror, this one looks a little more, I guess, naturally than this one. They both look fine to me. I kind of like the dip brow looking, I like the dip brow right now, so I'm gonna just go ahead and have that match. The brows look even. I'm looking at myself in the mirror back there, and I feel like they look really even, and yay! If I have a little bit of extra time and I'm going full glam, I like to do what they call carving out your brows. So what I do is I take a flat definer brush like this one, and then I'll take a creamy concealer. So this is the MAC Studio Finish concealer. I kind of just dip the concealer brush in it. I can't even see what I'm doing. Like, I'm looking at the mirror now. Just stamping it in like that, just very slightly. And if there's a lot, I just rub off the excess. And then this is gonna take your brows to next level status. I lightly carve out the bottom front of the brow. You can see automatically what kind of difference that makes. Follow the lines that I created earlier. And this just gives my brows a little bit more definition. And it just gives it, I don't know, a little extra oomph. Especially if I do the top. If I carve out the top of my brow. Now, like I said, I don't do this every day, like for work or, you know, just every day-to-day stuff. This is if I just have a little extra time and I want to reach extra levels of brow perfection. Extra levels! As a final step, I'll take my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, best brow gel ever. I push this part of the brow up and then I push over. And on the other side, I push up and over. And as a final step, if I look at my brows and I notice maybe there's, you know, I look far away and I'm like, that's a little bumpy looking line, or I want to fix the line or something, I'll just go back with the Brow Wiz. I think they look decent, but I'll just, if I wanted a little bit more definition, I'll just go back with the Brow Wiz and put in a little bit more definition where I think I need it. So that's it, you guys. There's my brows. Okay, and that's it, you guys. I hope it was helpful for you. This technique has just, like I said, been a game changer for me when I'm doing my brows, and I hope it helps you too. So if you have any questions or whatever, I'm not like a makeup artist. I'm just a chick that likes to do makeup, and I am not all about that insane looking drag queen makeup. That's just me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, maybe you should consider subscribing to my YouTube channel or my blog, or giving it a thumbs up or leaving a comment or something, because I appreciate those things. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being you and having fabulous brows. So cheers to amazing brows and happy days to you. Bye!